What are your thoughts around PMI becoming involved in the Agile space?
I'm fairly, I don't do well with management. I respect PMI, I respect people trying to do the things that PMI does. I'm always kind of a renegade, and I never like doing my timesheets, right? And that's simple. So I think it's a worthy attempt. It'll be interesting to see how far you get, because part of me says Agile is very almost libertarian, not anarchy per se. It's just individuals, more of almost a personal practice type thing. But I understand when you get to an organization, there are things you can do organization-wise. I know that's what PMI is really good at, helping organizations get better. So I applaud your efforts. Good luck.
What are your thoughts regarding defining a set of good practices for the Agile certified practitioner?
Even before Agile, good practices are always a good thing, I think. I always say that a good team, in the absence of any practices, will form their own. Well, they should. For me, it's part of the definition of a good team. They recognize times when, wow, if we do something like this, because we're doing it 10 times, we can, make a process, make it better, and continue to refine it, see how long that lasts. So I always think good practices is a key to any craftsman, any professional. So yeah, I certainly would applaud any organization trying to come up with good practices. The only cautionary note is it's not prescriptive, right? I mean, the hard part about Agile is there are no 5 steps. It's not easy to follow. There's no magic. You look at the manifesto, it's 4 pretty simple bullets with foundational principles that you need to think about. And there's a lot of practices that lead to being Agile and a lot of practices that support Agile. But there's no way to say if you follow these 10 practices, we're all Agile. So that's my only caveat to that is don't beat people over the head with a set of practices. If practice number 9 wasn't followed, big whoop.
What trends are you noticing in the Agile community?
The faux Agile community or the true Agile community, whatever that means. I'm not sure I've sort of extracted myself from the broader Agile community just because I got tired of seeing crap being called Agile. So I'm now more embedded in the Ruby world and just working with small teams of my own, doing a little consulting here and there. So from what I've seen, I like the ability to have tools like Cucumber, RSpec, GitHub, all those things make it so easy to be Agile, I think. And that's one of the challenges. If you're on a project with really lousy technology, old school, and it's really hard to do the right thing, it takes even more effort for someone to do the right thing. And I think the kind of trends are trying to make it simpler to be Agile, with processes, tools, and just, I think it's supporting the community. So that sort of trend I like to see. The trend I don't like to see is the fake Agile or the due to lack of trying to think hard about what we're doing, we just follow a bunch of steps that somebody wrote in a book without really knowing why. I mean, that's one way to try to learn, just follow something and be introspective, but I think too often it's abused and called Agile, and it's really not. But hey, I hope, that the market will sort that out.
As Agile software development crosses the chasm, what are the major challenges you see facing the community over the next couple of years?
Well, crossing the chasm is interesting. I know at TogetherSoft, in the very beginning, it was a real kick-ass product. We built features really fast. I specified a lot of stuff that I wanted to use. So I was kind of selfishly building stuff that was good for development. And it was a little shocking for me to learn about crossing the chasm, because you go from early adopters, entrepreneurial, innovative people, kind of, the one end of the spectrum, to cautious, risk averse, large. We went from delivering new releases every 3 months to a lot of our bigger clients on the other side of the chasm going, whoa, we can't have new product features. I'm like, who would turn down Christmas presents like every 4 times a year? It just was difficult. So I think Agile has the same kind of issues where it went from people who were really passionate and introspective and early adopters and thinking a lot about it and just usually gravitated to it because they were trying to do better things themselves, to now it's the way to do things. We're supposed to do it. Oh, okay, so the CEO read something in the airline magazine. Guess we're going to go Agile now, right? So that kind of thing is the price of crossing the chasm. But again, I'd rather have people at least trying it, whether even if they're trying it poorly. Caveat emptor, but
right.
I think that's the part of the issue of when it moves more into the mainstream doesn't quite understand maybe like some of the early adopters did.
What are your hopes and wishes for the future of the Agile community?
Well, I don't know that I have any hopes for it. I always loved this one sales book called Hope is Not a Strategy. It's great. Read it. And it applies to many things, including Agile and software development. Hope is not a strategy. So I don't necessarily have any hopes for it. I just think if I had to wish for anything, I'd wish more people understood those bullets and really read what we wrote, the 12 principles behind them, and thought of it more as it's a personal goal. You are Agile. You don't do Agile. And so my hope is that people get the message that Agile is really your responsibility. Like we've been traveling around the U.S. for the past month or so, and I love the Zion Park shuttle. Because there's cliffs and there's danger, and they always said something that resonated. Your safety is your responsibility, which I love because I hate nanny states. I hate everything has to be safe, and so we're going to protect you. And I think Agile is like that. I don't want it to be dumbed down. Agile is your responsibility, not the organization's.